Today's video is about phrasal verbs, which I think you're all very familiar with by now. I've made many videos about phrasal verbs, but in the past I used to present the phrasal verbs to you in sets, like put on, put in, put out, put through, and so on, to make sure you understand all the different uses of it. What I want to do today, I want to start showing you phrasal verbs in particular contexts that they're used. And the reason it's important to know this is because native speakers, we use phrasal verbs all the time. It's just part of everyday vocabulary, right? And I know that it's very difficult to learn phrasal verbs without actually knowing their meaning first and then just memorizing them. So again, just in case you're not familiar with phrasal verbs, it's a verb with what looks like a preposition. It's actually a particle, but a verb and preposition that together create a different meaning than the two words individually. Okay, let's start with lash out. What does it mean to lash out? So if somebody hears some bad news or you did something bad to somebody, their reaction, their emotional reaction to that situation or that action might be to attack you, right? They will not only you, they will attack everybody. But lash out basically means lash out everywhere in all directions. They don't care who they attack, and it could be a physical attack, like they'll hit you, or it could be a verbal attack. They'll yell at you, they'll swear at you, they'll curse you, and they'll most likely do it to everybody who comes in contact with them. It's a very emotional, very rage reaction to whatever happened. Okay, so next we're going to look at shut down. Now, some people, they lash out, they get very angry, they get very responsive. Other people go the complete opposite direction. Something bad happens, or they get bad news, or somebody did something bad to them. For example, kids who are bullied, often they just shut down, right? They're like a robot that turns off and does nothing. They don't want to react in any way. They become very quiet. They don't go out. They don't socialize with people. They don't really do much of anything. So we say that this person just shut down, just stopped behaving like a regular person would, right? Other people, and I have to admit, this has happened to me many times, but I sometimes zone out. So somebody is speaking to me, and maybe I'm not that interested, or maybe I've heard it a million times from this person and I don't want to hear it anymore. My mind starts wandering off and I have no idea what's in front of me. I don't hear anything, I don't see anything. My mind is in a completely different place. I'm in a different zone, a different area, a mental area, right? So we say this person is just zoned out, just doesn't know what's going on. Another way you might hear this expression, some people tune out. They just stop hearing whatever's being said to them. They don't pay attention. They can see you talking, but they're not listening to you anymore. So they tune out. Some people, their mind just goes somewhere else. They zone out. Other people, and again, there are all kinds of emotional reactions to all kinds of situations. Some people take things well. Some people take things very badly. So if somebody storms out, for example, storms out of the room, they get all angry, they make a big noise about leaving. Maybe they'll shut the door really hard, they'll slam the door, they'll just make some noise as they're going out, they'll throw a bottle at you as they're leaving the room. But overall, what they're doing is they're storming out. That's the expression that we use to describe that. Some people melt down, right? So some people shut down, they basically close off. Other people melt down, which is a little bit different. They basically lose all self-control. It's like their brain melts inside their head and there's nobody controlling the system anymore, right? So we can also use this often as a noun. She or he is having a meltdown as one word, compound. A meltdown, or that person melted down and started yelling at everybody. And you see this on news channels these days a lot, where you have people from different opposing views, and one person says something and the other person just melts down and starts yelling and doing all kinds of craziness then. If that happens, if somebody's having a meltdown, what you might want to say to them is, pull yourself together. right? Gain control of yourself. So you've fallen apart, which is actually not on my list. Fall apart is another one of these good phrasal verbs. If somebody is falling apart, if somebody's having a meltdown, or if somebody's lashing out, just tell them, relax, pull yourself together, and continue on as before, right? So gain control of yourself. Sink in. Sometimes people don't react right away. They may hear bad news, or somebody may insult them, or something happens and that's a bad thing, but they don't react right away. And maybe you're looking at them like, why aren't you reacting? You should be very angry. You should be very upset, or you should be very happy. It could be the other way around as well. That's because the information has not sunk in yet. They heard it in their ears. It hasn't gotten into their brain yet. They haven't processed it. So when something sinks in, means they absorbed it and they processed it. If it hasn't sunk in yet, it's still coming, and the shock is still coming, and the reaction is still coming. Some people tend to dwell on things for a long time. Dwell on means keep in mind. They stay in the same place, basically, in the same state of mind. So if I insult somebody and they get very angry, and that's fine, they storm out of the room and I go on with my life. A week later, they're still angry at me. They're still thinking about it. They still want to lash out, but I'm not around, so they can't. But they are still dwelling on that moment that I insulted them, right? So they're still very angry, and they hold on to that emotional reaction that they had a week ago. Whenever something bad happens in life, this is just a life tip, don't dwell on it. Let it go and go on with your life, and let things happen, because things will happen. Now, if, again, you're having this emotional reaction, and if you're dwelling on some bad news, a friend, hopefully a good friend, will come to you and say, snap out of it. It means basically stop thinking about this stuff. Stop being depressed. Stop being angry. Snap out of it, wake up, and go on with your life, and let things go. And if you're really angry, somebody eventually will come to you and say, just go away, get out of the room, go cool off. So basically means you're very hot now. You're hot with anger. Go somewhere else, cool off, calm down, come back, and we can have a discussion again and fix whatever the problem may be. Okay? So all of these are just everyday phrasal verbs. Some of them you can guess at in context. Some of them you need to know what they mean in order to be able to use them well and to understand them when you hear them or see them in writing, etc. Okay? So now, if you want to make sure you really understand these, go to ingvid.com and take the quiz. There's a quiz making sure you understand all of these. You can also ask questions in the comment section below, and come back next time for more useful vocabulary tips, grammar tips, writing tips, test tips, and so on and so forth. Okay? See you then. Bye-bye.